Suspenseful mystery story, The Obedient Thief. On a rainy night, the private museum at Highland Manor was so quiet that only the patter of rain outside the windows could be heard. At 1:40 a.m., a police car shattered the manor's tranquility. Police had received a report that the manor's prized possession, the priceless Star of the Ocean diamond necklace, had vanished just minutes earlier. Detective Captain Lin shook the rain off his trench coat and entered the exhibition hall with his assistant. In the center of the hall stood a high-tech, reinforced glass display case, its doors wide open, revealing an empty velvet cushion inside. "Captain Lin, this is Mark, a former Special Forces officer. After retiring, he was hired by the estate owner as a high-paid private security consultant," the assistant reported in a low voice. "He's the one who woke up just now and used the walkie-talkie to notify the doorman to call the police." A few minutes later, paramedics helped Mark sit up. Mark was pale, clutching his throbbing head, and gave his testimony haltingly. "At about 1:25, I was patrolling in front of the display case. Suddenly, someone attacked me from behind with a stun gun. As I fell to the ground, I vaguely saw a person wearing a black mask. He quickly entered the code in front of the display case, opened the glass case, and took the necklace. Then I completely lost consciousness." Officer Lin walked to the high-tech display case, carefully examining the keyhole and electronic screen. "This display case has an extremely secure security system," the assistant said, holding the technician's report. "It uses the latest dynamic encryption lock. The password consists of 8 digits and changes automatically every 60 seconds via a mobile app. Currently, apart from the owner of the estate, who is vacationing in Europe, no one in the world has the authority to generate the dynamic password. Even Mark is only responsible for on-site supervision. He couldn't possibly know the password." In Europe, Officer Lin stroked his chin. "That means unless a hacker cracks the password in real time from across the ocean, only the owner of the estate can open this display case." Officer Lin turned and walked to Mark, who was still sitting on the ground catching his breath. He looked down at the former SWAT officer, his gaze finally settling on Mark's left wrist, where he wore a recently released, high-end smartwatch with an extremely shiny, mirror-polished finish. Officer Lin suddenly smiled slightly, his eyes instantly sharpening. "Mr. Mark, I must say, your story sounds perfect," Officer Lin said coldly. "But you weren't attacked at all. You're the thief. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for your support and encouragement. You definitely don't have the app, and you definitely don't know the password." Officer Lin slowly walked towards the display case, pointing to a high-definition surveillance camera directly above it. "But you know something else. The owner, vacationing in Europe, is used to checking the showroom late at night through a real-time monitoring app on his phone." Officer Lin stopped in front of the display case, extending his left hand, mimicking Mark's earlier posture. "Around 1:22, you deliberately stood directly under this surveillance camera, took out a cloth, and began to pretend to clean the display case. But during the cleaning, you intentionally adjusted the angle of your wrist, tilting the screen of your brand-new, high-gloss smartwatch slightly upwards." Mark's body trembled uncontrollably. "You used the watch mirror to precisely refract the reflection of the keypad on the display case into the high-definition camera above your head," Officer Lin continued, revealing. The owner, far away in Europe, was watching the live feed on his phone. Suddenly, he saw what appeared to be someone trying to type the keypad in the reflection on his watch mirror. Officer Lin chuckled coldly. The owner immediately panicked and became extremely anxious. He thought a daring thief was on site, trying to crack the keypad. To prevent the display case from being forcibly destroyed or illegally unlocked, he made a fatal decision in his panic. He used the remote emergency lock/release function in the app, pressing a one-click unlock button remotely, attempting to reset the display case's status. But this was precisely the trap you meticulously designed. Officer Lin turned and stared intently at Mark. The instant the owner pressed the remote unlock button on the other side of the ocean, the lock on the display case clicked open. You didn't even need to crack anything. A dynamic password, because it was the anxious owner who opened the display case for you. A deathly silence fell over the exhibition hall, broken only by Mark's heavy breathing. After taking the necklace, you struck yourself on the back of the head with a blunt object, staging an electric shock attack. Officer Lin approached Mark, reaching into his pocket to pull a concealed miniature stun gun. You're not a thug who forced his way in, but a compliant thief. You succumbed to humanity's fear of the unknown, using your owner's own hand to open the door for you. Mark's face turned ashen, his once resolute eyes losing all their light. He lowered his head, unable to utter another word. Two officers stepped forward, cold handcuffs instantly locking his hands. The Highland Manor in the rainy night returned to calm, and the Ocean Star, blinded by greed, finally saw the light of day again after the truth was revealed. The end. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching and your support.